Well, it's that time of year again. Tax season. I mean top 10 time. That's right, the end of the year offers the perfect opportunity to look back upon the finest films that the year had to offer. And when compared to previous years, 2014 was easily one of the best for film in recent memory. Not only were the awards contenders generally excellent, but there were a number of legitimately well-made big-budget blockbusters as well. Now, a few things to keep in mind before I start yapping away. This list is based on my own personal tastes. If you would order them differently or would include additional films, hey, that's what God created the comments section for. Also, there are a number of films I haven't gotten a chance to see for whatever reason, so naturally they won't be on here. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, without further ado, here are my top 10 films of 2014. Since it was such a great year, as I said, I have a number of honorable mentions that definitely deserve some attention. Number 20, The Guest. A sleek, electric, and engrossing thriller from director Adam Wingard and one of the biggest genuine surprises of the year. A clever blend of 80s-inspired action and horror elements spearheaded by a magnetic performance from Dan Stevens. Check it out. Number 19, Godzilla. Godzilla is a rare breed of blockbuster. Gareth Edwards' masterful visual style built the perfect world for Godzilla to wreak havoc in. Mix that with the expert pacing and slow burn to the epic climax, and Godzilla remains one of the finest summer movies of 2014. Number 18, Pride. Pride tells the story of a group of homosexuals in 1960s and 70s Britain and the hardships and prejudices they faced defending the miners during their strike. This film works so well as a result of the sharp, witty writing and the three-dimensional characters. Ending on an ultimately empowering note, Pride is truly a film to be proud of. Number 17, 22 Jump Street. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum return for another self-aware comedy, and following the original's deconstruction of reboots, 22 does the same with sequels, and it's just as meta and hilarious as ever. Topped off with a brilliant end credit sequence and, of course, the immaculate chemistry of Hill and Tatum, 22 Jump Street is a comedy that demands to be seen. Number 16, X-Men: Days of Future Past. Bryan Singer is back at the helm of the finest X-Men flick since X2. Excellent character work from James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, and Jennifer Lawrence. A compelling story and a refreshing time travel element retcon the lesser entries in the series while at the same time steering it in an exciting new direction. Bring on Apocalypse. Number 15, Chef. Jon Favreau's passion project about a chef who decides to open up a food truck managed to be both funny and heartfelt. A touching father-son story with food porn for days. Seriously, don't watch this one on an empty stomach. Number 14, Big Hero 6. Walt Disney Animation Studios delivers another visually impressive film adapted from the Marvel comic of the same name. What works here is the humor and the heart. It took conventions of typical superhero origin stories and made them feel fresh. Baymax is the shit, yo. One of the finest animated films of the year. Number 13, Edge of Tomorrow. Talk about subverting expectations. The trailers did absolutely nothing to prepare me for this fantastic sci-fi actioner. Tom Cruise successfully reinvents himself as a truly cowardly character. Spot-on pacing and editing, as well as a healthy dose of humor, makes Edge of Tomorrow an edge-of-your-seat must-see. Number 12, Enemy. Denis Villeneuve and Jake Gyllenhaal reunite for the sickly enticing film surrounding a man and his doppelganger. With strong themes of commitment and identity and a fittingly dismal visual aesthetic, not to mention one of the most shocking final frames of all time, Enemy is a triumph in storytelling and the best Canadian film of 2014. Number 11, Guardians of the Galaxy. Pure popcorn fun with a lot of heart to boot and a cast of lovable misfits. Director James Gunn delivered the year's most memorable blockbuster out of a comic that was nowhere near the mainstream lexicon. The soundtrack was retro awesome, the action was fast-paced and exhilarating, and the dialogue was the perfect balance of snarky, witty, and emotionally powerful, all while avoiding a cheesy tone. Guardians of the Galaxy is one to watch. While all those films definitely deserve to be seen, now it's time for the big leagues. This is my top 10. Number 10, Fury. When Fury was announced, it had my minimal interest. Really? Another World War II film? I immediately wrote it off as pandering Oscar bait, but damn, this movie worked incredibly well. Following a tank crew towards the end of the Second World War, Fury examines the familial bonds between soldiers and the ultimate price of war on the human spirit. Cinematography and sound design take center stage as each battle sequence was intense and impactful, while at the same time being rooted in genuine human emotion. The acting in this movie should not be overlooked either. This was the first film where I thought, holy shit, Shia LaBeouf can really act. This was the first film where I thought, holy shit, Logan Lerman can really act. And it forever reaffirmed that Brad Pitt was born to kill Nazis. Number 9, Interstellar. At this point, Christopher Nolan films are going to be polarizing. That's a given, and Interstellar might be his most divisive film yet. While I didn't adore it as nearly as much as I wanted to, I can still recognize its level of technical mastery. A visually and narratively ambitious sci-fi epic with a strikingly emotional human core, Interstellar oozes escapism and made my jaw drop more than a few times. Sure, he shit the bed towards the end, but I still respect Nolan for taking risks and sparking debate among his audience. Overall, a solid movie, and it would be great if we could see some more like it. Number 8, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Marvel Studios had a landmark year in 2014, and The Winter Soldier is their crowning achievement. While single-handedly repositioning Captain America as the coolest Avenger, it also transcended the confines of the comic book genre, serving as a sharp political thriller as well as a kick-ass action movie. Taking the opportunity to flesh out secondary characters like Black Widow and Nick Fury proved to be a great move, as everyone got a chance to shine in this film. The Russo brothers handled the action with such sophistication, it's hard to believe their previous credits include Arrested Development, Community, and Me, Myself, and Dupree. And in the context of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the events in Cap 2 have the biggest ramifications yet for the overarching narrative, and that is exciting as hell. The social and political elements integrated into the superhero movie structure makes for a highly compelling blockbuster. Captain America: The Winter Soldier rules, and I wouldn't change a damn thing about it. Number 7, The Babadook. An Australian psychological horror film from first-time director Jennifer Kent, The Babadook excels in nearly every regard, avoiding many of the banal stereotypes surrounding modern horror. Essie Davis delivers the year's most tragic female performance as a widowed mother dealing with the grief of her late husband. These feelings are manifested in a creature from her son's bedtime story, The Babadook. The less you know going into this film, the better. I watched it absolutely blind and found it to be the most unnerving and genuinely terrifying horror film I have ever seen. Placing character and story over cheap jump scares, The Babadook creates its haunting atmosphere as a result of the character's emotional turmoil, and that is so refreshing to see. I could not personally recommend this film enough, as I thought it has been criminally overlooked by many critics and movie fans. No film left me feeling such dread and fear as The Babadook, and if you can, give it a watch. Number 6, The Lego Movie. Arguably the best example of product placement ever. What was in essence a 2-hour commercial for Lego was also a hilarious, thoughtful, and downright brilliant animated comedy made just as much for adults as it was for children. Mile-a-minute jokes, colorful characters, and so much damn energy gave the Lego Movie an unfettered comic wit and heart. Not to mention the animation is impressive as hell, and I can't think of a more visually creative movie to come out this year. If this doesn't win Best Animated Feature at the Oscars, someone needs to be fired because the Lego Movie was truly awesome, and this is a team I am definitely a part of. Number 5, Gone Girl. The new thriller from David Fincher does not disappoint, and why would it? Fincher is a master filmmaker, and Gone Girl is the perfect story for him to tell. Adapted from the best-selling novel from Gillian Flynn, Gone Girl explores the dark side of marriage and the media's frightening ability to sway public perception. Ben Affleck delivers a career-best performance with excellent acting work from Rosamund Pike, and even Tyler Perry as well. The writing in this film was nothing short of brilliant, as Flynn positions the viewer on the same playing field as the characters, and we're left to piece everything together along with those on screen. And with each new shred of information we receive, we must weigh whether it is indeed fact or just another lie. An exhilarating 2.5-hour ride that didn't feel lengthy whatsoever. Gone Girl was a cinematic gut punch and another great film from David Fincher. Number 4, Nightcrawler. The perfect character study, Nightcrawler follows Lou Bloom, a down-on-his-luck thief who stumbles upon the world of underground crime journalism in LA. Jake Gyllenhaal pulls out yet another excellent performance as a truly deranged sociopath who managed to be one of the most lovably awful characters of 2014. While The Wolf of Wall Street explored Jordan Belfort's excess and corporate greed, Nightcrawler does the same with success and morality. The pacing, dialogue, and performances, the masterful direction from first-timer Dan Gilroy, and a surprising level of rewatchability position Nightcrawler as the year's most devilishly entertaining thriller. Highly recommended. Number 3, Snowpiercer. The English-language debut from South Korean filmmaker Bong Joon-ho was an unabashedly entertaining sci-fi action movie that gave me my best theater experience of the year. In a dystopian future, the remaining population of Earth has been assigned to a train, perpetually rotating the planet on a never-ending loop of track. Snowpiercer's concept is only elevated by the sheer creative production design and beautifully chaotic stylized violence. Themes of classism and environmentalism do not bog down the film in any way and only work to enhance the tour de force unfolding on screen. Pacing, action, and the use of the train as a sole location were all A-plus choices. If any film made me want to stand up and cheer, you better believe it was Snowpiercer. Number 2, Boyhood. Shot over the course of 12 years, Richard Linklater's opus is about as great as everyone's been saying it is. Here lies a relatable and compelling snapshot of life following a young boy from first grade to college, allowing for plenty of dramatic storytelling as well as moments of seemingly mundane life. Performances are strong from Ethan Hawke and Patricia Arquette, and credit has to be given to Eller Coltrane, who improves with age and works well as the focus of this incredibly ambitious filmmaking experiment. It seems to have paid off, as Linklater has crafted a daunting but ultimately effective coming-of-age story that will no doubt be remembered and revered for years to come. And my number one favorite film of 2014 is The Grand Budapest Hotel. Wes Anderson is a director at the peak of his creative powers, and The Grand Budapest Hotel just might be his best film yet. Aesthetically pleasing and meticulously designed, Budapest feels like nothing else I've seen all year. The world created by Anderson is unique and inventive, the brilliant comic timing of Ralph Fiennes and the always solid all-star cast do not fail to impress, and the screenplay works to tell the story while also allowing for ample comedic moments. This movie is damn funny. If you get the opportunity, have a stay at the Grand Budapest Hotel. I doubt you'll regret it. And there you have it, folks, my favorite films of 2014. Sorry this video ended up so long, but like I said, it was a damn good year for film, and I felt passionate about every movie on this list. If you have your own picks, I encourage you to leave them in the comments section below. Also, be sure to like if you enjoy what you've seen, and subscribe for more movie-related content. As always, I'm Nicholas Janzen, and Happy New Year.